Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
Yellow against blue, Gujarat against Chennai. And yes, questions will still be asked. Mumbai might look mathematically out. Chennai in lots and lots of trouble, but far from mathematically out. There's no question, Michael. It's a must-win. Must-win for Chennai.
Yeah, I mean, they won the last game. Much needed, particularly for the captain, Ravi Jadeja. He's obviously in the infancy stages of being the leader of this great franchise. It's obviously has been controlled and run by MS Dhoni and Stephen Fleming. All of a sudden, you take over the mantle. It can't be easy. They played quite well in the last game, so that'll give them a bit of a boost. But again, a bit like Mumbai, I don't see Chennai this year as being that competitive force that we've seen. I don't suddenly see them going on a 4 or 5 game winning streak. I just don't think they've got enough in quality from 1 to 11. I don't think they had a great auction. I've spoken about it before on Cricbuzz that whether they took that eye off the ball, whether they didn't think they needed too much more, I don't know. But I don't think they had a great auction. I think losing Lord Thakur was a big miss for them as well. Allowing him to go, I know you can't keep everybody, but I just look at their squad and see, yeah, of course there's decent players in there, but I just don't see them as being anywhere close to some of the other teams this year.
And Deepak Chahar, you'll notice we've taken the name out of the entire squad, and we've had to, because he will officially take no more part in this tournament. For the longest time, he was somewhere in there in white, thinking, when will he come back? That's not happening anymore. So the performance they did get Chennai in the last game, Robin Uthappa is not exactly a spring chicken, but it's almost a bonus for them. Nothing from Rahul Tripathi. Shivam Dube, outstanding. Question is, how long does he carry on delivering performances like that? And I suppose the discovery of the last game was Mahesh Theekshana.
Yeah, I suppose when you say Rahul Tripathi, you mean Ruturaj Gaikwad, right?
Did I say Rahul Tripathi?
You did, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Ruturaj Gaikwad, it's crazy that we'd speak about him this way, but the expectation in that squad is that he's one of those to unlock the rest of the order, and he's such a young guy. So when your hopes are pinned on a youngster, particularly when he's gone a couple of seasons where he's done decently, then anything can happen. You might expect a guy to have another really good season. And the good thing about Ruturaj Gaikwad and sort of why everybody would think, well, he'll go well again, is because you couldn't really pick out an apparent weakness to his game where guys would say, this is where they'll get him out. And I know a couple of times there were short ones that guys would put up here and say, right, try and take that on. And he got out a couple of times, but it was when he had quite a few runs. So that's who they're missing particularly, so they can't get started. And he had his partner last time, didn't he, in Faf du Plessis. Doesn't have him this time. He's gone off to another franchise. Maybe got too expensive for them. They maybe felt that they needed to just move on. Whatever the case was, it's a case of starting again. And there's also the calmness, and Michael spoke about it, there's also the calmness of MS Dhoni leading. Not calmness of himself, but calmness of those around him because they know he's got it, right? That's not there. It's okay, so what does Ravi Jadeja bring? And they know him as something else in their squad. They know him as this guy who just plays and he'll get them the game. But he's not Mr. You're going to make the decisions and you're in control. So I think it's just a different dynamic, and that's going to take some time to bed in, and so makes things difficult for them, particularly if they start off as they have, where they've not won their games and things have looked they've looked like they're just off the pace.
Well, for Ruturaj's sake, maybe I'll consider that a Freudian slip. The fact that I called him Rahul Tripathi, and Tripathi is in sizzling form. Go on, Ruturaj, do us a Tripathi. Do us a Tripathi, and see if we can do that. Oh, what's in a name after all? But in the opposition, Gujarat, one of the 3 teams we said who have got right to the top. New franchise, as Michael said, they bought well, they performed well at the auction, but that means you still have to translate that to on the field. They started out perfectly, then had a bit of a roller coaster, but looked like they're getting it together as far as the 11 is concerned, particularly, Michael, because I think that in the first 6-7 games of the tournament is where you want to pick out your best players.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a good team, simple as that. I mean, they've picked really well. I mean, Hardik Pandya as the captain knows how to win this event. He's doing well. He plays very sensibly at number 4. I think the last game against, he was just smart and clever and hit it the right times. Shubman Gill's been a nice manoeuvre to the franchise. Obviously a very talented player, but at the top of the order, I just think he's a superb prospect. I don't think we've seen enough of Wade and Millie yet, but they'll come good. They're two good players. I just think that bowling attack, you look at Rashid Khan, you look at Shami, you look at Lockie Ferguson, who had an off day 2 games ago and then got 3 for the day after. That's the kind of bowler Lockie Ferguson is. He's an aggressor, attacker, and when he comes good, he'll blow some batting units away, which is exactly what you expect from your strike bowler. It's been a very clever auction. Whoever put that team together, that squad together, deserves a lot of credit, because it looks to me on paper, I mean, it's early stages, and as I said, they've got a captain that knows how to win it with a different franchise. When you start getting to the back end of the tournament and the pressure really is on, will they have enough belief in the squad to go all the way? I think they have the talent of players. I really do. I think they've got a good enough squad of players to be really competitive in this year's IPL.
Just 2 slots, Pommie, for you. 2 little slots to talk about, and we've talked about it on several shows. One is the extra fast bowler that they've rotated between Varun Aaron, Yash Dayal, Nalkande, lots of choices, and of course Matthew Wade. How long does he hang on to that spot?
Interesting one, because if you're thinking Matthew Wade off the park, who would you go to? And I think that's the question they've got to sort of try and answer. Is it Ramanullah Gurbaz that you want to go to, or are you shifting to Riddhiman Saha? You want him to take the gloves, and then you've got to make another change as well. There's something else I think that we've got to speak about, which is Hardik Pandya fit? He didn't finish his over. He came off the field in the previous game.
But he said it was just cramp. He's put. You don't believe him?
Listen to me. I believe what he is saying, but I still must see it with my eyes. Right? When it's cramp, you go back to your mark and you go again and you bowl and you're fine. Right? Maybe he thought it was cramp. Maybe it was cramp. Maybe he is okay, but it is still a question we must ask. And if it was cramp and he's okay, it means that he'll bowl in the next game. And he can bowl in the next game, and therefore there's no real need for the rotation of players, and the bowling group stays the same. But if he can't bowl, and then there's a question, because all of a sudden there's a weak link in terms of who's fit bowler, sick bowler. Do you know what I'm saying? So to make up that fit bowler becomes a problem, and it becomes a weak link because teams see that and they can attack that particular bowler. It weakens your attack. So I think it's a big point, and it's an important thing for us to watch as we watch them play tomorrow.